Restoring unity. We've heard that talked about ad nauseum here for the last 3 weeks. We all have to get on the same page. Well, we're not. We're not going to get on the same page because we have turned into very different people, politically speaking. And certainly there's nothing that 46 can say that's going to all of a sudden restore unity. Joining us to talk about all this is Vlad Davidiuk, Republican strategist. And I think making even if he were sincere about that, Vlad, I think making it even more difficult is the left making it painfully obvious. The only way they want you to unify with them is to believe exactly what they believe.
Yeah, well, look, the left is not interested in unity. When they say the word unity, what they mean is submission. What they mean is towing the line and getting on board with their program. They have no interest in unifying with the 75 million people who they view as deplorable and racist and necessary for deprogramming. It's not something that's in their interest or in their agenda at all.
What's alarming, though, is when you know that there is this divide, and there are so many Americans, almost half the country, who are very unhappy right now, but they are being persecuted too. And it's getting to the point you're almost afraid to speak out. You're afraid to lift up your head. You don't know when you're going to get arrested. I mean, what has happened? Why are we talking unity when we've got this sort of thing going on?
You know, it's alarming that President Trump's policies actually helped the United States and didn't cause damage to the United States. But throughout it all, Democrats and the left were screaming and ranting and raving against it because it was something that was objectively getting in the way of their agenda. The left and the Democrats, the progressive left, are so beholden to their agenda, they're willing to do whatever it takes to silence anyone, to defame people, to push people out of the public square in order to achieve it. And they view getting President Trump out of office as the first big step towards that. And they're going to punish anyone who stood in their way from accomplishing their goal. And that means that they're going to be persecuting people who pushed forward opinions and pushed forward an agenda that stopped them for the last 4 years. And that means anyone who sticks up their head and has these ideas of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness and independence and liberty and freedom, and they're going to try to knock them down as they go over the next 4 years. It's only beginning now.
Is there anybody, Vlad, in government left to stop them? You've got the Senate, for all practical purposes, in the left's control. You certainly have the House still in their control. You have the White House in their control. We, I guess, have the Supreme Court. But how many of these cases would
we
make
used
it
to have law? What I'm asking, what happened to law?
Well,
it's been reinterpreted, I think, don't you?
It's partially that, but it's also partially that the Democrats and the left don't look at the law the same way that conservatives and the right look at the law. Conservative American patriots look at the law as the foundation of our society, as what keeps us able to maintain that spirit of democracy, that spirit of freedom and liberty that began in our founding. The left looks at the law as a tool that they can use in order to enact their agenda. And it's our job, as every single American citizen, as every single person who loves America for what we are, for this grand experiment in democracy, to counter their propaganda, to resist every single leftist executive order and every single policy initiative with as much force as Democrats resisted Trump from day one, and not to get payback, not for revenge, not to be petty, but for the good of our nation and for our fellow citizens. We should join with senators like Rand Paul and Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz, who stand against this rush to enact a policy and an agenda that run counter to the American experiment and are harmful to our country, and stand up and be counted.
All right, sir. Thank you as always. Appreciate it. Vlad Davidiuk, Republican strategist. We need more people to step up to the plate.